Hello all, today let us discuss about this UPSC or the IAS controversy that has been created by one of our nice girls, Pooja Khedkar. In this, I would just not want to discuss only the controversy. We'll briefly discuss the controversy, and then I want to involve, apart from Pooja Khedkar, another nice, smart, we will possibly have to call him an ex-IAS officer called Abhishek Kumar or Abhishek Singh, who has resigned and is now into Bollywood, right? So apart from the controversy, let us discuss a bit about the history, and I'll give you a lot of data about how many posts are there and how many attempts, how many people are exactly taking the exam, and then after the data we'll go into actual solutions, what exactly should we be doing now, and at the end I'll give you my own personal view. So the first question which I wanted to answer now is the whole of UPSC as in the organization or the exam, is it a fraud or whatever? No, most of the stuff, I would say like 50, 60, 70% of the stuff is okay. As I previously discussed about NEET, there should be a lot of tweaking, discussion and involvement of specialists to make it even more robust. So let's discuss about two of these specialist IAS. One is a trainee IAS, and I'm sure that she has now been taken off the list and called back to the organization to serve the marching orders. And there is this nice gentleman called Abhishek Singh who resigned in February of 2024 and is now gone into Bollywood. And this person also claimed the quota under the locomotor disability, which means like a polio guy who has got one limb that is just hanging around but he can't walk. So he claimed that's disability, and he worked for about 14 years. He's a 2011 batch IAS officer, and then quietly he actually resigned. So he's not in jail, there is no criminal case. He's actually happily dancing away with a few porn stars, and now he's into more acting and dance in the Bollywood, right? And then this girl, I also gathered like this girl is a doctor as well, an MBBS doctor from Pune. And then there as well, she faked the OBC, and then she faked the creamy layer, and then she looks like she got through, and she's actually a qualified MBBS doctor. And then changed the date of birth, claimed to be a below 8 lakh annual income, non-creamy layer OBC, claimed locomotor disability, claimed eye disability, claimed a mental disability. Looks like her mother is a sarpanch, a politician, and her father, who was an admin officer, I don't know what sort of an admin officer. His mother is a Manorama Khedkar, father a Dilip Khedkar, an admin officer. Looks like her mother's dad is Jagannath Budhavat, also an IAS officer. So it's like if I am a doctor and my wife is a doctor, we know, and we have come through the same examination system. We know a lot how to circumvent, not exactly the 90-95% place where we have to work hard and get there. There is this last 2, 3, 4, 5% which is reserved for the ex-servicemen, the physically handicapped, if you have attended the Republic Day NSS parade, if you have represented the nation as in the state or in some sport or whatever it is. So for that, there is this small fine print. The guy who manages the fine print is circumventing the whole other people who have really done the job. So she's wanted a lal batti on her private Audi A4 with a number 9000. Looks like in the two other controversial places where her mother appears with a small pistol. I don't know whether it is a licensed or a non-licensed. If it is non-licensed, then there will be 2 criminal cases against her. If it is a licensed one, there will be 1 criminal case, because even if you have got a licensed gun, you can't brandish it anywhere and everywhere, wherever you like, trying to grab the land of a innocent farmer. And from whatever I gather from this morning, looks like the father and the mother both are on the run because they have had these FIRs registered against them and they are facing arrest. And this girl is now filed a case against the Pune, her boss, as in the collector, that she has been intimidated by him or whatever it is. So the baseline, finishing with this controversy, is they know the system perfect. They know how to circumvent the system perfect. They know how to get the certificates, and then the places where they will be verified, they know how to manage them perfect as well. So she's got into the system. And the last thing I wanted to tell you, I have not heard in my last 2-3 decades like any IAS officer apart from him resigning and going away has ever been completely suspended, put in jail, or his all perks and the pensions taken over. Never. The maximum they do is to give him a punishment posting. If it is at the national level, send him away to the northeast. or if it's a punishment post, send him to a one deprived district. But what I'm trying to say is, why should the deprived people in the district get an idiot IAS officer who has not performed his duties elsewhere has been posted to punish them? Is it punishing the IAS officer, or is it punishing the citizen? Now that is what is for the discussion. Like, coming to the data, usually what I've gathered is, for the last couple of years UPSC has not published a lot of data. That is what will come to at the end. Transparency is needed. Like, if we go to 22, 21, 2020 data, 11,52,000 people appeared, 22,000 qualified, that is a 1.9%. In 2021, 10,93 qualified, appeared, 20,649 qualified. In 2020, 10,58 appeared, and then the 19,547 qualified, which makes it a 1.8%. So too many people appear, and then I'll give you the data, I'll put it on the screen, that there are a maximum of 2,000, 2,500 to 3,000 posts in all, including the IAS, IPS, IFS, which are about 100, 150, 200 in all. So the top three will amount to only 500 to 700 in all. And the second data point I wanted to tell you is, because Pooja Khedkar is a 34-year-old OBC girl, and the two other things, as in history, I have to tell you is, the UPSC has come into force with an article 315 to 323, and it was previously called the ICS, and it was established by the British in 1853. And then we did a bit of a tweaking, even that was again before 1947, and called Public Service Commission in 1923. And then we have only made small changes in them. So like the CRPC and the criminal justice, which has changed completely, I think the UPSC also should go in for a big overhaul. And then there are two places these big people going to get trained. One is in Hyderabad, the IPS coming to train at the SVP and PA. It is called the Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel National Police Academy. And the IAS people go away to the LBS, NAAs, Lal Bahadur Shastri National Academy of Administration. Right. So now is the funny part of it. If you are a general candidate, you can still do 6 attempts, and then maximum age is 32. OBC 9 attempts, age 37. SC, ST got unlimited attempts and can go up to 37 year of age. And if you are an ex-serviceman, that is different again, 9 attempts and age of 40 and things like that. Should people at 40 be still writing exams and getting into the IAS? Or the question is, 1, 2, should people be doing 7, 10 unlimited attempts? That will come in the solution. So that's all the data part, and I'll come to all the numbers of how many posts there are. And so that was the history. So let's find some solutions about what we are doing and how it should change. Is the exam all okay? I would rather say about 50-60% of it okay, and then whatever my solutions are is. So apart from just doing that one preliminary, one final, I think the marks from the 10th, 12th, the degree should also be considered, and instead of having, and then the marks, cutoff mark should be minimum 80, 90 or 95. Like if there is a guy who is scored about 40-50% in his 10th, 12th, is he going to qualify? No. And if you just let him write the exam, he's going to continuously write the exam, waste his parents' resources for a decade doing 10 attempts. So make a good cutoff mark, take the 10th, 12th degree or the PG marks and put a benchmark like 70, 80, 90%. Make a maximum of 2, 3 maximum attempts, no more than that for anyone. And then why conduct only one preliminary exam, one final exam, break it into 3, and then for each one divide 33% of marks, or make 2 exams in a year and then make 50% each. Makes sense, so that we are not just concentrating for a whole year on doing one exam. And then once you are qualified, then now my fascinating Agniveer-like story, for every 100 recruits, 30 of them should be short service, like 5-6 years out, and another 30% should be about 7-8 years out, and then only the 30% who want to really stay or who are capable of staying should be given an option of continuing or made compulsory to go on to finish until their retirement. And the second option is, half of them should also go through all the rigors and qualify, but not get into the services straight away. Qualify, do everything, you are certified, go away now, work somewhere else, do your own business, be a venture capitalist, go to Google, go to America, work, come back in about 5-10 years, and then you again choose to go into the system because you've acquired some specialty and you want to come in to help. Short service, again 5-6 years, 10 years, long service, or up to retirement. The government should start to think about all this. And then whenever they get in, instead of just doing all this like the municipal cleaning business, they have to be put into specialities. Like, I don't think the IAS officers have got great knowledge about cyber crime. Get them into environment, get them into renewable energies. If somebody wants to be in a finance, fine, environment, fine, but they should start to in a specialty, and until end of their career be in that specialty, leading the team, discussing all those things. And the other thing is, there should be serious punishment that should be incorporated into the UPSC. Jail term, not just a transfer to that area, terminated without a pension and put in jail really if they are found to be doing something not right. And then transparency. The exam centers, the way exam conducted, questions, the interview, everything should be, I think we should get rid of the complete interview. I'll come to that at the end. Maybe an online exam, complete feedback about how it happened from the authorities, and then take a feedback from the students as well. And all the certificates of all the students should be put online. They are public servants like the politicians. Everything should be online for each of the citizen to scrutinize them. And coming to my personal view, why should we get rid of the interview? And if honestly I have to say, like, India won't work without this iron framework which Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel called the Indian administrative. We can't live without it, because the politicians are there only for 5 years and they are in or out. So they should be there. But if ideally, if I can, I'd get rid of this. This is the worst organization or the sort of service I have seen, and I shouldn't comment. I think you're getting it. A maximum of them are absolutely correct. You can only count on your fingers who is the one who is really doing the service, who's just living on his salary. You have to just see how they work. And all these girls, Pooja's arrogance come from there. Possibly she has lived in this bungalow where she had this one driver, 10 peons, one cook, one to look after the phone, one to walk the dog, one to clean her carpet. That's what the IAS or the IPS officer's life is like. She's got used to it. That's why she wanted a lal batti even before she got into the service as a probationer. And absolutely, once I've seen, like, I've got friends, my mates, who have now possibly going to be big people there because they are all aged and then midway in Andhra Pradesh police. And I've got my own relatives who have just retired or in service at the fag end their service. Absolutely, I think a few of them are also seeing this video. Absolutely arrogant, insensitive, and it's absolute nepotism. And they are always worried about their children, their batchmates, and their specialty, and how they are going to earn and what all this is about. A very few of them are really service oriented, really thinking about lateral ways to sort the problems, thinking really big way in the next, what's going to happen in the next 10 years. If I'm as a collector, what's the future of this district? Or if I'm in a joint director or in another director or in the secretary as in the cabinet there, what's the future of this specialty as in the renewable energy? 5 years later, 10 years later, are we just going to import panels from China? When are we going to manufacture? If we are going to manufacture, we didn't plan properly for the chips in the industry, and now we are trying to find chips, do this, do that. Is it going to happen quickly? No. So what have all these IAS officers been doing? Paid, doing administration for India? That is the questions they have to answer. So that was my personal opinion. Okay, thank you.